I will not call this meeting to order until any members of the public wishing to attend this duly called special meeting are granted access to these chambers. Through this chair to administration, please confirm that members of the public wishing to attend have been allowed to enter.
Through the chair, administration did open the doors early and has had people down there letting citizens in, and I just came from the main floor and no one is left wanting to enter right now.
Thank you. I call to order this special meeting of the Council of the City of Wetaskiwin on February 24th, 2026 at 8:31 a.m. I acknowledge Mayor Branco's absence as he is en route to his previously planned vacation destination. In the Mayor's absence, I am chairing this meeting as per the duties of Deputy Mayor. I humbly request grace and patience as I navigate the proper procedures for this special meeting. Attending virtually is Councillor Nielsen and Councillor Hoyle. We solemnly appreciate and respect the recent engagement with us elected officials, by the numerous emails we have received, and by each of you in attendance today. These chambers are a place for council to debate and make decisions. There is no open mic portion on today's agenda. I made the following campaign promise just a few months ago. I promised to be respectful, prepared for meetings, make thoughtful decisions, willing to listen and learn. I will endeavor to continue to do that today. I expect professionalism from each member of council as we deliberate. I likewise expect respectful presence of each member of administration and members of the public here in attendance at chambers today. Moving to our agenda, I seek a motion to adopt the agenda. Thank you, Councillor Elder. I will not be calling for discussion or additions to an agenda. Special meetings under standard parliamentary procedures are restricted to addressing only the specific items listed in the advance notice. All in favor of the agenda as presented? Carried. As this special meeting was requested by Councillor Nielsen, stating that he was prepared to put forward the following motion, that Council directs administration to cancel the rental agreement for Co-op Place February 7th, 2026, 10:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., and refund the full amount of the rental payment. I look to you, Councillor Nielsen, to present that or an alternative motion in order to open discussion.
First off, I want to make sure you can hear me.
Yep.
Great, thank you. No, that particular motion would suffice, but I would like to speak to my motion, Madam Chairman.
One moment, please. We will pause to allow administration to prepare and display the proposed motion before council. Councillor Nielsen, can you see the proposed motion on your screen?
No, I cannot.
We'll wait. Councillor Nielsen, I believe they placed that in the chat. Are you able to view the chat in the meeting link? It's not exactly as you had written in your email requesting this meeting, but...
Just give me one moment to read, please.
No problem.
Just one correction, if I could, Madam Chair.
Go
I
ahead.
would like to replace the terminology Alberta Independence Initiative with what I understand the organization is, Stay Free Alberta Independence Movement. That would be the motion I would be putting forward, Madam Chair.
Councillor Nielsen, I welcome you to open discussion on your motion. I will then afford each councillor a chance to speak. I would also ask that you read your motion since it has been altered from what I spoke to.
Thank you. I would move that Council directs administration to cancel the booking of a city-owned facility for the event scheduled on February 7th, 2026 by the Stay Free Alberta Independence Movement or the named organization or individuals responsible for the booking.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. And like you, I know we've all received a large number of emails representing both sides of the issue. And like you, I thank everyone for sharing their personal perspectives. I would also like to thank council members who supported my request for a special council meeting. To the motion, I guess recently at our council strategic planning meeting, we discussed the values that we hope to see embedded in our municipal framework. Terms like community pride, unity, transparency, and building trust. How we use these terms in guiding our decisions in the best interests of an entire community will certainly be tested today. I'd like to make 3 statements to explain and support the motion that's before us today. Number 1, I fully recognize we have a widely diverse community with an equally wide range of political preferences and viewpoints. I'm not against any individual sharing or supporting a specific political ideology. What I do object to is the use of a city property for a partisan political event that advocates divisions. Division within our community, division within our province, and division within our country. Second point, council's talked about an attempt to build a better, stronger relationship with Musqueam Four Nations. At exactly the same time, we decide whether to rent our facilities to a partisan organization that appears to have little or no regard for treaty land rights as provided by the Government of Canada. How do these 2 diametrically opposing viewpoints connect for the betterment of our community? My third point, while I can agree with a general statement that I've heard in many of my emails, that we live in a free and democratic country, and conversations such as being proposed by the renting organization are critical to a democratic society. I agree with that statement in a general format. However, the notion that there should be no guidelines, no restrictions, or no filters is a potential road to an uncivil society. I believe in order to be politically nonpartisan in its municipal governance, the city needs to distance itself from all political conflict, and that begins by not inviting it into city facilities. Thank you, Madam Chair. I yield back.
Thank you. Seeking further discussion? Councillor Billingsley?
Thank you. To say that this is a hot topic in our community would be an understatement. Received many text messages, many phone calls, many emails, and I thank you all for the input. Where I'm struggling with this is that as a councillor, I have to do what I believe is best for the city. Even though I am not in agreement with the Alberta independence movement, I still have to set that aside. And it's critical that we look at this as, for me, as policy within the city. Having said that, I'm a little concerned about the process of how we got here today. One of the councillors had asked to have a special meeting, and the process is that the councillor asks the mayor to call a special meeting. He does have the ability to say no, which indeed he did. From there, what happened was it is required that the majority of council say yes, that we are interested in having a special meeting, and that occurred. I'm not sure why we would not want to at least have the discussion, whether you agree or disagree. But here we are. My question, though, is to administration is, do we have a specific policy, through the chair to administration, do we have a specific policy on who can rent city facilities?
Through the chair to Councillor Billingsley, we do not.
Thank you. So, having said that, then it becomes up to staff to decide who can rent so said facilities and go through a rental agreement at that point. And where I'm struggling with this is that I don't want to have one-offs and have extra meetings to decide who rents buildings and who doesn't. So that falls upon us, council, of not having a policy in place, whatever that is, of who can rent and who cannot rent the facility. I can't disagree with many of the things that Councillor Nielsen has said. There is a big division within our community and all of Canada. I get it. And indeed, we are at a free democratic society. Having said that, I'm really struggling with this, but I am going to not be in support of the motion due to the fact that it's about policy, and there is no policy in place at this point in time.
Thank you, Councillor Billingsley. Seeking further discussion? Councillor Elder?
Okay, so excuse me. I don't really think I have a belief one way or the other on this. But because we don't have a policy, and because the Municipal Government Act states we can't be biased one way or the other, otherwise we're up for legal ramification. Contract's been signed, deposits have been paid, so I don't think the city's in a position, unless admin can guide us with any legal explanation that they might have got yesterday. So otherwise, again, I can't be in favor of the motion just because of how we're set up. But I would like to ask admin if you've got legal advice.
Through the chair to council, we did speak with one of our lawyers about this. And of course, this is council's decision because there is no policy in place. They did refer to any rental agreement that might be in place and making sure that we've honored that. We have looked through the rental agreement, and while there's nothing in there that would stop council from making this decision, the risks are always that that if the group disagrees and is unable to reconvene quickly and find another suitable location, that the city could be sued. They did note that political beliefs is not protected in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and that council does need to think about political views aside, they do need to act in the best interest of the municipality, but in the absence of a policy, this could go either way. It is up to council.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Elder. Seeking further discussion? Councillor Hoyle?
Good morning. I too would like to thank all the citizens for their engagement. That is how we move forward and do better. While I support Councillor Nielsen's passion, and I too feel some of the same points that he does are valid, because there is no policy and we have already engaged in a contract with this group. I am very hesitant to go against that. I guess there's nothing to go against because we don't have a policy. So at this point, unless there's further information, I too cannot support this motion at this time.
Thank you, Councillor Hoyle. Last councillor to speak, Councillor Aberley.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor White. Through the chair to administration, I have a few questions. So you answered the first one about the legal issues of canceling the booking. My second question was, have you heard concerns from, and this is through to Kevin particularly, concerning safety around the event?
Through the chair to council, the only issue we heard was from the RCMP that there could be counter protests to this event.
So would it fair for me to assume that at this point we do not foresee serious safety concerns?
Through the chair to council, all I can say is the RCMP are aware of it, so I would assume then if there was a counter protest, they would be there.
Thank you, Kevin. And I know I tried to push that a little bit. The second question, and I sent this to administration really early this morning and appreciate that they may not have an answer, was whether or not they can give any insight. I've been hearing about, and then maybe also to Deputy Mayor White, she may have some answers as well, but the constitutionality validness of the question. So one of the things that I have been told as we look into this is that federally it is not a constitutional question, and it is one, and I appreciate that it has been approved by our provincial government and Elections Alberta. I just wanted to look at it sort of in that bigger picture, if there was any insight you could give me before I make my decision.
Through the chair to Councillor Aberley, as you know, the relationships between the different orders of government means that the municipality cannot weigh in on provincial or federal legislation. This, as far as we are concerned, is approved by the province, so it is valid, and any argument to the contrary would be between the province and the federal government.
Thank you very much. My last question is again through the chair to administration. This concern comes up with, again, and I sent the question last night, and I know, Sue, that you and I had a quick chat about this yesterday when I was trying to find out more information, was whether or not the Canada Forever or Forever Canadian group was denied access to our facilities.
Through the chair to council, last year that group did approach us to come to the Parade of Programs event, which is to showcase events and programs locally that residents can sign up to, like swimming lessons or Boy Scouts or something like that. This group did approach us to do have a petition at that event, and we said that's you're not local and you're not supporting or bringing forth any program. So we did allow them to set up on city property, but just not for that event.
Thank you, Kevin. And again, through the chair to administration, the information that I was given from the organizers is that, yes, they were told that they could not set up a table, and they appreciated that. during parade of programs, but when asked if they could set up outside Co-op Place at that time, and the quote that I got is, "There is not an option to set up outside the event. I can appreciate your intent, and that isn't political in nature. Event goers may feel that it is, and it's important that we as a city remain neutral." Do you have a comment on whether or not, do you have a comment on this?
Through the chair to council, my understanding is the group did set up outside, just not in the facility. And I believe they also set up during elections, but not like advanced polling. So they were setting up outside during advanced polling out in the parking lot as well. If at any time that group wanted to rent the facility, the Co-op Place rec hall, they would have been able to. They just didn't approach us for that option.
Thank you, Kevin. So I have not prepared anything for this morning because I really did want to do my best. I've tried to stay open to this discussion for all of the emails, all of the phone calls, all of everything we've all received over the last mostly 24 hours. We'll say 36. And I want to start by, again, thanking the community for their engagement. Yesterday, in many ways, was a long day, I think, for all of us. And I think I also speak for all of us when I say that we truly do think this is a privilege for the opportunity to have this debate, to make this decision for you. And I respect everybody's opinion that they gave me. And I also want to thank everybody who emailed us, because all of the emails were very respectful. Some maybe more passionate than others, but I didn't get called a single name in any of them, and that is unusual when I get correspondence. So I quite appreciated reading my emails yesterday, and I do see it as a privilege. So anybody who has spoken to me over the last few months about this initiative in general knows that Karen Aberley, the human, has a moral conviction that believes we need a community and we need a country that is open to debate. And one of the things that makes me a forever Canadian is that I live in a country where we would allow this to happen in open spaces. And so on Tuesday, when the special council meeting was set, I was pretty sure I was coming into this meeting also not supporting the motion, because while I agree with everything that Councillor Nielsen has said about the role of being Canadian first, or however we want to look at that, or what are our treaty responsibilities in relationship to a petition that on at least the surface appears to not engage with the fact that we are all treaty people and on treaty land. And then I struggled with the constitutionality of the validness of the question, and really looking to see what my role may or may not be. And I still have not made up my mind, because I truly struggle with the fact that we don't have a policy one way or another, and we'll be sending an email today for a notice of motion regarding that, because we need to be clear. And it really does not sit well with me that one group felt that they were not given support and I appreciate the rental facility difference. And one group may have more money to be able to rent the drill hall where another may not, and I am still struggling. So I welcome the next opinions before I make my decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Aberle. Having given each councillor an opportunity to speak, I'll now speak. Through the chair to council, I believe this motion proposing cancellation of an approved permit is based on a personal political disagreement and selective reputational concerns, not any breach of the rental agreement, city policy, or bylaw. Proceeding could expose the city to breach of contract and judicial review, therefore I will not be supporting the motion. Councillor Nielsen, as the proponent of this motion, I grant you the final opportunity to speak to your motion. Each councillor having now had one opportunity already to advocate for his or her perspective, I again seek further discussion before welcoming closing remarks. Any further discussion?
Yes, Madam Chairman. And
These could be your closing remarks. I see no further discussion. Go ahead, Councillor Nielsen.
Thank you. First off, I appreciate everyone's point of view relative to this motion on the floor. And I respect the decision that will be made here shortly. Mm-hmm. Having said that, I think it's critically important that if this motion fails, that we have potentially significant work ahead of us in relationship building with Musqueam Four Nations. And I guess the question that was posed, or the comment was posed by administration, that this is policies in place, is a council decision in the absence of a policy. And value statements we spoke about related to relationship building. I said at the very beginning our values would be tested, and today it was. I stand down. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nielsen. I'm preparing to call the question. The requirement to pass a motion is a simple majority, which is defined as more than half of the votes cast. The motion before us is that Council directs administration to cancel the booking of the city-owned facility for the event scheduled on February 7th, 2026 by the Stay Free Alberta Independence Movement or the named organization or individuals responsible for the booking. Those in favor? Those opposed? This motion is defeated. I promise, and I also request that council members, administration, and the public move forward from this decision in a spirit of civility, treating the democratic process and our fellow citizens with dignity and respect. I adjourn this meeting at 9 o'clock.